Okay guys, so we're going to start on these enchiladas. I've got about 2 pounds of ground beef. It's an 88% lean to 12% fat ratio. I'm going to put a nice heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. Then I'm going to come back and I've got a teaspoon of black pepper, teaspoon of kosher salt, 3 teaspoons, well, it makes a tablespoon of minced onion, and about a teaspoon of cumin. That's going to go in there. Hey, you can adjust your spice ratio however you see fit. You may want to add more salt when it's done. Whatever your taste buds require to be satisfied. So, we're going to get this all browned up. Then, we'll drain it off and move on to the next step. This meat came from Sam's. A huge percent of the time I always purchase my ground beef from Sam's. They always seem to have good quality ground beef. So we are still continuing to let this cook up. I am ready for some good old beef enchiladas. It's not a hard recipe to make. Very easy. Simple. Not a whole lot of prep time into it. It is a crowd pleaser. So this is probably going to make around 20 to 25 enchiladas, I'd say. So, just depending on what size tortillas my husband brings me back from the store. Normally, I don't use corn. Sometimes I do, but most of the time my family prefers flour tortillas when I make the rolled enchiladas. Now, someday I will do a video on stacked enchiladas, in which I do use corn tortillas for those. But hey, that's a video for another day. One thing too, I'm just going to cook it until it's browned, which, you know, that's how most of the time you cook it. But I have before let it get away from me, and I've had some crunchy pieces of hamburger meat, which I don't like. So you really want to keep an eye on it. I guess Mexican food is one of our #1 foods around the house here. We do tend to eat quite a bit of it. And so that's what we're going to have tonight. We've had a lot of smoked meat lately. I'm thinking about making up some hamburger patties, setting them out on the pit boss, which I know, I mean, I'm not going to leave them out there long enough to cook all the way through probably, but I'd bring them in the house and finish them off. But I'm wondering what they would taste like if you let them pick up a little bit of smoke flavor. Then I've got some little smokies I'm thinking of wrapping up in bacon and setting them out on the pit boss. I don't know. Just trying a few different things. But hey, this meat is getting close to being done. And I am just about to drain it off. Okay, so as you can see, hey, the meat is gone. But I've left a few bits and pieces of the bottom. It's a tad bit of the grease, not much. But that's going to be used to flavor my sauce that's going to go on the top of these enchiladas. So we will be back shortly to start that. Okay, so now we're fixing to mix the filling for enchiladas. Got the meat drained off. Got all our seasonings already cooked up in it. So, to this meat, I am fixing to add a can of diced green tomatoes. Diced tomatoes and green chilies. I'll get it right in a minute. Then, I'm going to add about 3 cups of Colby and Monterey Jack. So, I'm going to trade off spoons here. Get something a little bit stiffer. I'm just going to mix all this up really good. Give it a few tosses here and there. Fixing to roll up some enchiladas. Okay, so I'm using burrito size flour tortillas this evening. So I'm going to use my big cookie sheet. And what I'm going to do is pour a little of the red enchilada sauce on the bottom. I'm going to make sure I've brushed it around, coated the bottom of the pan totally. Okay, so we got the pan covered. So what I'm going to do is I've laid my flour tortilla in that sauce. I'm going to come through, put my filling down, roll it up, and turn it around. So, there you go. We will be back when I finish. Okay, so here goes the sauce for these guys. I've got about, I don't know. I'm going to say maybe 12 ounces of velveeta that I have cubed up. We're going to toss this in. Okay. So then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of chili powder. Then I'm going to add a can of green chilies that's chopped. And they're mild. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add the rest of this 28-ounce can of enchilada sauce. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to add about a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to let this melt down and we'll be back. Okay, so we want to make sure we stir this frequently because it's cheese It will scorch if you're not careful. So you want to keep a very close eye on it. Hey, Velveeta makes just about whatever main dish you're cooking taste better, huh? Sauce done. Alright, so the sauce is done. So I'm going to take my ladle, dip some out, and start topping my enchiladas. This is a nice, rich, creamy queso topping. Queso style, I should say. Okay, so I've got that done. So we're going to drop that down. Look at all this. So I have all of this left after my enchiladas are covered. This is going to become queso. So we'll have chips and queso to go with our meal. So I'll put these in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to eat some dinner. Okay, so they're fresh out of the oven. Cheesy beef enchiladas. I hope you like this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you try it. Catch you later.